Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am finally coming on to do my nighttime routine, Tretinoin night. I know I recently uploaded my updated PM routine, and that is what I do probably 5 nights a week, sometimes 6 nights a week. But I have recently started reincorporating Tret after being off of it for about 4 to 6 months into my routine. I have found products that work really well with keeping the flaking at bay and any irritation at bay. It's a little bit of a lengthier process. It doesn't really take that long when I'm not talking through it. Obviously, I'm not saying you have to do all of this in order to not get irritation from Tret. I'm just saying it's what works for me. I've had to change up my Tret, which I will go into. I have changed my percentage of Tret, which I will go into. And I feel like there's been a lot of trial and error for me to get to this point in my Tretinoin journey. So hopefully you enjoy this. Hopefully it's helpful. Let's jump in. Okay, so I have cleansed my face and removed my eye makeup. And real quick for that, I used my Numbuzzin Easy Peasy Cleansing Oil. Tonight I used my Chantecaille Rice and Geranium Foam Cleanser, which is one of my absolute favorites. And then my Body Shop Chamomile Gentle Eye Makeup Remover. So those are the 3 steps that I've already done at my sink. And now we are ready to go on to the next steps. Now, on my Tret night, it is probably, despite Tret being pretty much the only active that I use, it's still probably my most time-intensive night because I take things in 2 stages. What I have found is that I do best using a lot of hydrating ingredients, following it with a very hydrating moisturizer, waiting a good amount of time. I mean, if I have the time, I'll wait a few hours. If I don't, I wait a minimum of 30 minutes, then apply my Tret, and then I follow up with a couple of more products. So it's pretty intensive. It's not something I'm saying you have to do. It is what I have found works best for me to keep me from peeling, to keep me from being irritated, and overall just produces the best results. So to start out with, I am going to use an essence. I have a few essences here. I will link all of them. I'll mention them real quick, and then I'll just use one. This one I've talked about before, the Haru Haru Wonder Black Rice Hyaluronic Toner. This says it's a toner, but then underneath it says the first essence. This is thicker to me than a toner is, so I do use it as my essence step. Very hydrating. All of these are, hence the reason I'm using them. The Naturium Hyaluronic Acid Essence 2%. This is it right here. I've used a good amount of this. I do like this, so that's another option. I just ran out of my Dr. Serkiel essence, and I have one that's coming in backup, but these are the 3 that I am going to try to get through before I open that one up. This is newer to me, and it is from Saro Daru. And it's the Gothamista essence that she did. She is on YouTube and she does a lot of skincare, or she does all skincare videos. And she focuses a lot on K-beauty. And this is a 62% enhanced black ginseng water essence. So this is what I started using after my Dr. Serkiel ran out. So that's what I'm going to use today. So I will just put a little bit in my palm. And depending on how, and I'll press it into my skin, depending on how my skin feels will depend on how many times I do this. There is something called the 7 skins method, which basically is just a method where you take your favorite essence. It doesn't have to be different essences. It could be the same exact one. And you basically do this step I'm doing right now, wait a few minutes for it to sink in, and continue doing it up to 7 layers. I don't know that I've ever done 7 layers, but I have done 4 or 5. And I have felt like my skin has needed at least 3 lately. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. But that is my first layer, and I'll go through my next 2 pretty quick for y'all. I do really like this one. I don't yet know that it has taken the place of my Dr. Serkiel for good. It's different consistency. It's not as creamy as that one, and it's thicker, which is not a bad thing. But so far, so good. I mean, I don't dislike it. It's not done anything bad. But you can see already just the intense hydration that that's given my skin versus when I first came on camera. And at this point is when I will go into some kind of hydrating serum. Before I do that, I'm going to use my eye cream. This is the OneSkin OS1 Eye Topical Supplement. I got this, I think I've probably been using it for about 3 weeks now. I got it during when they first put their Black Friday sale out. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this eye cream. And it was just like curiosity got the better of me. And I just wanted to see if it's really as good as everybody's saying. Now, I have not used another eye cream in the 3 weeks since I have gotten this. I've been using it, well, I'll use a different one tonight later on. But other than like my normal nightly and morning routine, I have only been using this since I got it. And I really want to stick to that until it's done because I want to see if it truly makes a difference. But that's what I'm using now. Now, let me show you a couple of the hydrating serums that I will rotate through. Again, you don't need all of these. I have them because of the nature of what I do and because I love skincare. This first one is also from Saro de Rue. I may be saying that wrong. I likely am, and I apologize if I am. And this is the freeze-dried hyaluronic acid anti-aging system. It was, again, a curiosity thing. A friend of mine texted me and said that she's been using it and she likes it. And I was like, it's just different. So let's try it. So it comes with a packet of freeze-dried hyaluronic acid. So these are just tablets comprised of hyaluronic acid. And then it comes with a activator. So you will take one of the tablets, put it in my palm and add the activator to it. And it kind of dissolves. And then you would apply it as a serum. I have gone through 11 of these so far. I like them. I don't know that they're the most hydrating thing that I have ever tried. And so I don't know that I'm gonna repurchase them, but I like them enough to definitely finish what I did buy. Another serum that's great that I have had, and you can see I'm halfway done with it. And when I talked about something else in one of my last videos, somebody made a comment saying, oh, you need to try the RNW Ceramide Plus Concentrate. And I'm like, I have that. I need to pull it back out again. It does have niacinamide in it. It has a lot of peptides in it. It's got some ceramides. It also has copper tripeptide. Now, a lot of people are not comfortable mixing copper tripeptide with their Tret in the same routine. I've had no issues with it, but that's going to be something that you choose whether or not you want to do that. But it is in this, and it is K-Beauty. It's affordable, and it is very nice and hydrating. And then the Cocoa Kind Ceramide Barrier Serum is one that I've talked about a lot. It's also very affordable, and it is chock full of ceramides and hydrating ingredients. I'm about 75% done with this one. I think I'm just gonna use the Cocoa Kind tonight, and I just pulled this spritz off my vanity because I forgot to bring my mist in. This is the Beauty Pie Triple Hyaluronic Acid Spray. So I'm just going to kind of prep my skin and use about a half a dropper full of the Cocoa Kind. I love seeing my face get shinier after every application. All right, 2 more steps in this section of my routine. And quite honestly, this next step is absolutely not necessary. It's just, I wanted to try this product. I like this product, and this is where I feel like this product fits in. And it is also K-Beauty, and it is from Naturi, Naturie, and it is the Hatamugi Skin Conditioning Milk. So this is kind of a liquid moisturizer. I'm actually very interested to use this in the summer as my daytime moisturizer because it is definitely thicker than any kind of moisturizing essence that I would have, but it's liquid. So it's not like a cream moisturizer. It's actually very different than anything else I have tried. See, it's running down my hand, but it's definitely thicker than any other like essence that I would have, or really any other serum, but that's not a cream. It's wild, but I like it. So I'm kind of using this as a primer for my moisturizer, which is why I'm saying you don't need to do this, but I have been doing it lately, so I would be lying if I didn't include it in my routine. And then finally, I'm going to use a moisturizer, and this is when I use my Stratia Lipid Gold Barrier Lotion. I talked about this in my must-haves for winter skin because this is a great addition to a heavier cream if you want to mix them. It is great on its own as a hydrating serum, or if you have more combo to oily skin, it's just a great moisturizer. I use it as a moisturizer step in this part because I will use a heavier moisturizer later. And again, it's if you can't tell, it's just layering lots and lots and lots of hydrating ingredients on top of each other. So I'll just take a couple pumps of that and kind of use it as my moisturizer. And when I say in this step, it is because this is all to prime my skin for Tret. So I will now go do other things. I've got to take a shower. I am going to eat dinner. I am going to wait a few hours before I come back on and do my next section. Now, again, I know we don't always have a few hours, but I will wait a minimum of 30 minutes. I want my Tret to be applied on dry skin. For me, that is just the best way to do it. You notice that I spritz some of this to kind of prime my face for the products that I put on afterwards, because having a damp environment on the face really does help your products penetrate better. I really don't want that to be the case for Tret because that can actually lead to more irritation. So I want a very dry face. I'm gonna let all of these products sink in, work their hydrating magic, dry down onto the skin, and then I will come back and finish up with the actual Tret portion. So for you, that'll be just 1 second. For me, it'll be a couple of hours. Okay. It has actually been probably about 2 hours now, taking a shower. Even though my skin still looks like it's super hydrated, and it is hydrated, but it is also dry. It just has like a sheen because I put so many hydrating products on it. So at this point, this is when I go in with my Tretinoin cream. I was on Curology for probably 4 years, where you get with a dermatology provider over the internet. They assess your skin, you send them pictures, and then they put together a formula. And I was on a formula with them for, again, 3 or 4 years. And I liked it, but I kept upping the percentage of Tretinoin cream within the formula. And I got to where I was getting just constant peeling from it. So I just basically stopped using it altogether. And that was probably 4 to 6 months ago. And then I was like, I want to put it back in my routine because I really feel like my skin looked maybe not that much better than it does now, but it looked good when I was on Tret. So I decided to go with the sister company of Curology, which is Agency, because they're supposed to be more geared toward anti-aging. Y'all, whatever was in that compounded formula, my skin did not like. Now, I have heard of purging with Tretinoin use, meaning for the first, maybe even 6 to 8 weeks of using it, your skin will purge any maybe acne that's right under the surface, because Tretinoin is making your cells turn over at a faster rate than normal. So they may come to the surface faster than normal. I don't typically have blemish-prone skin. This gave me lots of blemishes. I broke out with this Agency formula, and I just was not willing to wait the purge period because I knew that I had been on Curology and I never had that happen. And I still have some marks on my chin right here from breakouts that I got while on Agency. And I have never had post-acne red marks before. Now I do. So I just, again, was not willing to wait out the purge to see if it was going to get any better. I did some research and saw some other people could not get past that stage using Agency. I'm not saying they're not fabulous because a lot of people love them. I decided to go with a good old Tretinoin cream. And I got the 0.025%. I actually got this from nerks.com. I will list it down below. What I have read and researched is the majority of the studies that are done with Tretinoin cream in regards to anti-aging are done with the 0.025 to 0.05 percentages. And from what I could find, they have not found that the higher the percentage, the better the results when it comes to anti-aging. I can't say that that's the truth for acne, but for anti-aging, there's really no difference other than the level of irritation that you're going to get. So if I stay at 0.025 forever, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So this is what I've been using. I am starting it 1 time a week for the first month. Then I'm going to go up to 2 times a week for another month. And I would like to get to a point where I'm on it every other day, which is what I was on Curology. I think I actually got up to maybe 5 days a week with Curology, but I think every other day is a really good sweet spot for me. So before I put on the Tret, I'm going to go in with a little bit of hydrating eye cream. This is the Stratia Lipid Gold Eye Cream. The reason I like to do this is because the eye cream that I put on before has already sunk in. This acts as a barrier to the eye area, because while I do not apply the Tret directly under my eye, it does travel once applied, and I would like some kind of barrier to keep this area safe from the tretinoin cream making that super dry. You do not need more than a pea-size amount of this cream. That's probably even too much. And I kind of just dot it all around. Now, I don't have any issues with extra irritation around my nose or mouth, but I know there's some people who do not apply it there because they tend to get extra dry or extra irritated around there. And then just rub it in. I do not put it on my neck. My neck is a little too sensitive to put tretinoin cream. I will put retinaldehyde on my neck. I am on my 3rd week of using this, and I've had no irritation. I've had no peeling. I have had no breakouts. So far, so good with this. And then I will do another layer of moisturizer. So this is called the sandwich method, and you can put the moisturizer on, put the Tret on, and put the moisturizer on. I prefer to, again, let that first moisturizer dry down and then put the second one on. And I am gonna actually mix the Numbuzzin Cicaceramide Repair Cream with the Ionic Beta Glucan Power Moisture Serum, which I talked about in my must-haves for winter skin. This can also be used in my serum step that I talked about earlier, but I really like mixing this in with moisturizer. So this is a pretty thick cream, super hydrating. It's got the ceramides. And then I'll put maybe 3 drops of the beta glucan in with it, and I will top that Tretinoin. And then in my very final step, I am going to really make sure that that moisture stays locked into my skin, and I am going to put an occlusive on top, and I'm going to be using the Prequel Skin Utility Ointment. I feel like this has probably been the biggest game changer when it comes to not flaking while using tretinoin. This and making sure I super hydrate my skin and wait for it to dry. But really and truly, like, this is a must. I use it every night, but especially on the nights that I use Tret. So this is all I use. Do not need much at all. I kind of warm it up, and I really focus this under my eyes and then down on the sides of my nose and on my chin. That is where I get the most dry. Now, if I have anything left on my fingers, I'll go in between my eyebrows because sometimes I get dry there. But really, this kind of V area right here is where I want to focus it the most. This is not heavy feeling. It's only 45% petrolatum. This has not only made a difference in not flaking and the hydration of my skin, but it also has very much made a difference in how my under eyes look, because I'm putting that hydrating eye cream on underneath it, and then I'm locking it in with this. Not dry, not peeling or flaky at any time. They look plumper. The fine lines are plumped up. Highly, highly recommend that. I recommend all of these products, and that is my very long-winded but very effective tretinoin routine. So I will have everything listed and linked down below for easy access. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.